participants of the podcast are either medical marijuana patients or in a state where it is recreationally legal. Two Fried Eggs podcast does not condone any illegal marijuana or drug use or sales.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of Two Fried Eggs podcast.
Special?
It's going to be like a, well, yeah, because it's like a extra episode or something. So is this going to be like a 0.5 episode or something, or is this going to be a full episode?
I don't know. I honestly, you so I've had a few drinks tonight.
He go, yep. No, but the reason for this thing and how we're kind of doing just a me and you thing is because the news that I had heard about with NICKMERCS, one of the bigger streamers there is, and who is a guy who has promoted and done all kinds of good things for Call of Duty over the years and years for that game, and put in so much time and everything to where they eventually gave him his own character skin in the game.
Multiple ones.
And like packs and everything. Yeah. And then this happened just the other day. It's been a couple days now. There was some kind of protest where there was like I don't know all the letters, but the LBGTQ.
Gotcha.
And then we're promoting like a school board that was voting on recognizing Pride Month at the school as a children's school. And then there was also people there protesting against it as well on the other side of things, and things ended up getting violent and whatnot. There was some coverage on it, and then NICKMERCS simply made a comment of along the lines of, just leave the children out of it, was pretty much all that was said to my, if you got a quote of the actual thing, but
I don't, but I'm going to have, up here, there'll be a copy of the actual tweet. You'll be able to see it and go to read it. I don't need to get into specifics. I'm actually going to link the tweet. I'll put it over here. And then there's also the I can't even call it an apology that he made. Right. But it's a statement more or less that I'm gonna link in the bottom down too.
He straight up said on the, it's not an apology at all. It's just a thing that he knows. He may have said, sorry if I upset you, but I'm standing by what I said. And I mean, literally all the guy said was leave the children out of it. I don't see how that's anything that's arguable. Is that that's a hard word for me to say. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain things.
So a little backstory. To this.
What are your thoughts, huh?
Let's start with this. And if you're listening to this and this conversation is going to make you upset, I'm sorry. First of all, that's not what we're doing. Seems like something that we needed to talk about because it's something that I'm very passionate about.
It's the gaming community, streaming community, everything that we cover, So
I have two sisters that are gay. They're lesbians. No problem there. My daughter, who is 16, talked about being a possible lesbian or bi, and she didn't know, and she was really confused. I just said, great. Right. You can explore and do whatever you want. Like, cool. You remember, right? I was like, it's all good. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever you want to figure out, you can figure out. So she's an older, almost an adult. Like, she's very close to, 16 is very close to being an adult. She's not trying to do anything crazy to her body. She's just exploring her sexuality. Right. I'm cool with that.
Well, and that's how my daughter was too, bro. I went through that same thing, and I was the exact same way. I was just like, you know what? If you are, you are. If you aren't, you aren't. Either way, I still love you. Like,
her. See, that's not how it sounded. It sounded like you were talking about that you were having mixed thoughts when you're like, listen, man. Bosh.
You've been drinking too much. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Safe space, Bosh.
Hey, man, I'll love who I want to love, motherfucker.
Absolutely.
Okay?
It's nothing but love.
But no, all joking aside, man, is like,
sorry. I can't
my biggest thing, and the way I look at this is that I understand like what they're trying to say. Okay, so I got into it in a little bit. I'm going to back up here. I got into it a little bit with a person on Twitter. I'm not going to name names, anything.
It don't matter.
But anyway, so I just made a comment. They made some big comment about how, that everybody on the other side of it that was standing against it and wasn't for it was like a bigot or somebody that hated all gay people or things like that was kind of the comment, the gist of it. And so I commented on there, and I've just said, it's not anything against not liking gay people or having anything against anybody that's gay. I don't care, man. You grow up and love whoever the hell you want to love. I have nothing against you. I don't care either way. That's you. You do you.
Yeah.
But I simply commented too, I stand by what NICKMERCS said, that you should leave the children out of it. It shouldn't be brought up in school and things like that. These kids are developing their minds and should be able to create their own path, is kind of what my tweet was about. And then the lady, oh, go ahead.
There's no hiding Pride Week from kids. That's not what anybody is saying. They know it's everywhere, and it should be. It is a national thing, and these people need the same kind of love and respect that everybody else needs. Nobody wants to get rid of Pride Month. No one wants to bash. Like, right. I'm telling you, they couldn't be from the furthest thing from what I feel. But you guys, and this is as a whole, like America, and if you're not listening to America, it's cool. We love you too. But,
right.
But you guys keep religion out of schools because you don't agree with it, and because you don't think it should be taught, and you think that you, as the parent, should be able to teach your kid what you think about it.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it is. There's a separation of church and state. Yeah. So why is sexuality any different? I don't remember anything. I know there was back in the day, there was a health class that we were taught that this is how the body works. Not this is what you should do with it. This is and we went to high school, and then they showed you how to put a condom on a banana. Oh, I get that. But that's not, and even that, dude, if you remember, the conservatives lost their shit when they started putting condoms on in schools. Right. I personally think it's something that needs to happen, only because whether you're gay, straight, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. You should be able to practice safe sex in a healthy, safety way. Like, as long as they're old enough and age of consent, like, there's a lot of things that I believe, but all I'm saying is, it's a separation of church and state. It's a separation of sexuality and state. It's a separation of all that you don't need to put this in the schools.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Like, going back to that tweet, like the person's response was something along the lines of pretty much telling me that I was stupid and that it's not about sexual orientation. It's about treating people to treat everybody equal, no matter what their differences, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of it, told me how stupid I was afterwards. But, okay, and so hold on. So my response was to that is that you can teach somebody to be a decent human being and love all people and treat people the same without using a sexually oriented flag to represent it in children's schools and things like that. My whole thing is I don't think that the actual symbol for the flag is all about sexual orientation. And I don't think you need the sexual orientation in schools to be able to teach kids to be a good person and influence them with that, because anything that comes with a sexually oriented background should not be allowed in children's schools.
100%. It needs, but
just like nothing racist should be allowed in children's schools and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Any kind of flag that in my opinion, that promotes racism, sexualism, anything like that is no place for children. You know what I mean?
I've been thinking about the things that they do in the schools and what they do allow in the schools that nobody gives a crap about. Right. So I'm thinking about like the different holidays. They lost their shit about Christmas because there was Christ in it. So then now it's holiday programs, and that's fine because we're a melting pot. There's a lot of different things that happen in the winter times that other people celebrate that I don't. It's not that I don't care, but I mean, like, I'm 52% Jewish, and I don't celebrate a damn bit of Hanukkah. And it's nothing against it. It's just not how I was raised. It's not what I do. I respect the Jewish people. I'm one of them. And honestly, my wife bought us a menorah because she wants our son to see what his heritage is on my side, even though that was never a big deal on my side. But so the holidays is there. So they got rid of that, which is cool. That's church and state. I'll get that. No problem. I don't agree, but I understand.
Pledge of Allegiance a long time ago.
They pulled the Pledge of Allegiance. Why?
Because it spoke of God.
One nation under God. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So get rid of that too, because church and state.
Right. Okay.
So what else do they have? So we have the African American Heritage Month that they pump through schools crazy. I remember growing up, and it was always a big deal to do with that. Although I did grow up in a primarily black area, so it was a big deal. Like it wasn't like a white school celebrating. It was a black school with a white kid in it.
See, I was the exact opposite growing up, man. Mine
Dude,
was mostly white.
and my twin brother were just about the only white kids in the school. So when it came down to it, you grew up in it. You listened to it. You deal with it.
It was funny because I went to a primarily white school, but I was very, like...
Oh, you're a hood.
I was hood oriented. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. From the get go, it's just like in my blood, dude. I don't know. Like
you're that white kid in the burbs that they were laughing at. Yeah,
leaving those fucking places to go hang out with my friends in the hood. You know, it was fucked up, dude.
All right, we're getting so off track.
No, but, well, and another thing, I don't know if you saw it, but there was some people that came on about it. Like one of them being obviously Dr. Disrespect, who he was live on stream and said that he was back in NICKMERCS, that he didn't say anything wrong, and that he went and uninstalled Call of Duty until they either apologize or reinstate his skins and all that. And so I thought that was kind of a stand-up thing, you know, for him to put out there.
You hit me with it in my stream live.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did.
You hit me with it live in my stream.
Because I was fired up about it. I saw that shit, and I'm like, man, how is he catching flack for this? Like, Call of Duty's going to take all this years of promoting their shit, like years to thousands, millions of people promoting over years and years and years, and all because he made a comment to leave the kids out of it. Leave the kids alone. Leave the kids out of it. They pull all that fucking, like, how many hours of fucking time, bro, that he's put in for them. And they just yank
about it. So I was sitting there when you did that, and I was playing DayZ, and I was reading the chat, and I read it out loud, and I stopped. I don't know if you saw that I stopped and thought about what I was going to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did.
In my head, I went over a few things. One,
and you were only seeing what I was saying, too. So
exactly.
You didn't have the whole story yet.
But I trust you. I trust your opinion. I know that I know that you're at least going to give me what's real. So I thought about it. This is my content. Do I, one, need to tell Bosch to take that out of my chat?
No, that's true. Yeah.
Right? So there was that. Two, do I ignore the chat and keep it moving? Or three, do I tell my feelings about the situation and do it? And my beliefs come from me being religious. And I'm
right.
You know, I'm very religious. I trust in God in a lot of things. Like I may curse. I mean, I do a lot of things that doesn't align with the church. I get that. If you want to talk trash, go ahead. I can handle it. I know who I am. I come to God on the same terms as everybody else. So I said to myself, I'm like, there's no way that I can't sit there and stand up for the children. Oh man, I'm sitting with my hands all weird.
Doing like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Start going.
but I couldn't not support protecting kids no matter what the repercussions are. And that's why when, like, I talked to my wife about doing this episode, I said, we're going to do an episode that could possibly get us canceled of some sort. And I know this can. It very well could. If some asshole gets
flack or nothing else, you know, you might get some backlash or something. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. But they could say, don't watch this podcast because these two are homophobes and whatever.
Last I heard, the freedom of speech is still a thing. You know what I'm saying? So
what I'm saying is,
I know
they could try. They could mess with us. They could do whatever. And every time I said anything like that, I'm like, the one thing that I've always been willing to do, no matter what, I don't really put my political beliefs out there because I'm too middle of the road for everybody.
So am I,
on both sides. So. There's of no use. Like, I sound like a Republican. I guarantee I do, but I don't lean right or left. I'm very moderate.
Dude, my just to fall in politics and stuff like that is the shit I hear from people at work, because we have people that are hard on both sides at work. You know what I'm saying? And that's the most I hear of that shit.
They can't shut their fucking mouths.
But this stuff is just, like I said, this is, to me, this has absolutely zero to do with any kind of hate and stuff, because like I said, I don't care. Like, if I'm walking down the street and I see, you know, a dude that is with another dude and stuff, I don't mess with my day. You know what I'm saying? I'm going about my business. I just don't care. Like, that's none of my business. But when it comes to my kids or other people's kids and other people trying to push their influences on young minds as they're developing, that's a very, very tricky slope. You know what I mean? I feel like.
I'm homeschooling my son, my oldest, because of this. And like I said, I'm not saying my daughter isn't going to be bisexual or lesbian or whatever, but I don't know if it was a school that leaned her that way. Like, I don't know. Like, I know people say you're born that way. I know that, like, I've seen that. But I've also seen people that had a husband, lived their whole life and did their thing, and then all of a sudden found love with another woman. And that's okay, too. Like, I don't know what's true and what's real because it doesn't do anything to me. I've never been a part of that. So it could be all real. It could be both. It could be neither. I don't know. all I'm saying is I want my son to be able to go through this life and figure out what's real for him and not have someone that is pushing him one way or the other. Because I don't push him either way. I ask him questions to help him get through things. I want to help him through to get self-discovery and figure out what he wants to do.
Right. I'm wondering too at that school and stuff, like when they're talking about noticing or, I mean, whatever it is with Pride Month, what are they talking about doing? I mean, they're going to be like putting up rainbow flags all over the school, or how far is it going there? You know, like what does it actually mean? Because I didn't look into it far enough to know exactly what they were trying to do in recognition of it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's just one of them things being like, hey, it's Pride Month and it's okay to feel this way if you're feeling this way, blah 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 blah. There's nothing wrong with you. It's normal. Then that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. My problem is the sexual orientation to the flag. And being around the kids and in their face and pushed on them by people who aren't their parents.
I've seen videos of teachers of them reading pamphlets and talking to people about like anal sex and things like that. And it's plain out disgusting. And these weren't
I haven't seen none of that. That's crazy right there.
Yeah. It freaks me out to know that this stuff is out there. Like my sister is an educator. My grandfather was an educator for 40 years. Hell, he taught me in high school.
Right.
So I have a lot of people that I lean on when it comes to the school side. And unfortunately, I don't think that we align. I mean, I think my grandfather and me align pretty well, but my sister and me, we don't align when it comes to like this stuff. She conforms of hard left and she supports it. And no matter what, me and her can talk and we can have good conversations. And in the end, we can agree to disagree and whatever. We don't get violent or anything. Her mother brother, though, her mother brother.
Is that what you said?
My other brother.
Oh, I thought you said her mother brother.
Her other brother?
That's interesting. This thing took a whole Jerry Springer turn.
Brother from the same mother?
R.I.P. Jerry Springer. R.I.P.
Absolutely. So what I say, like, it's crazy to think that I don't know how far they want to go. I don't know. And that's the thing. Like, I've seen how far they've gone in parades. Like, great. You want to have a festival that's geared towards homosexuality and all the stuff that you do? Perfect. Go for it. Don't do it in the middle of a city going down the road and all of a sudden have lewd and sexual content on these floats. Like, I've seen that too, man.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I don't care. I don't care how much you do to yourself as an adult. I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
I want to protect kids. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. You get into any kind of like, and I don't know how much this has gone. I've heard about it and stuff. I haven't seen it firsthand and stuff, necessarily. I do have videos, have people in my family that are going through some things like this, which I've talked to you about, which I'm not going to bring out here. So I am dealing with some of this in the background. And I guess, I don't know, like, especially if you get into any kind of body modification stuff or anything like that before the child or person has even went through the full stages of puberty and things is a whole nother level. But I'm wondering,
we're not here to talk about that though.
No, I know. I'm just saying how far we're talking about. How far can it go? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, I've heard stuff about that, and that's like how far some people are taking this shit, which is crazy. But to kind of wind it back in a little bit, I'm wondering, like, when I watched the video, it looked like both sides like were egging it on. Maybe I don't know who started what or whatever. But another thing is just having this on the vote for the school board is such a political or agenda type of thing that it brought out two different groups of people to protest and eventually riot outside of a children's school, which is just in one like, I guess I'm kind of losing I'm a little stoned, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, go figure, right? It is Two Fridays podcast. But just to the fact of that you're doing something on the school board in a children's school that's going to bring out two different groups of people that are going to end up in a riot type atmosphere outside of the school is insane. That should tell you right there that maybe this isn't something we should be dealing with for other people's children or in the school,
Yeah, no, I agree completely. Like, you just don't know how far they're going to go. And both sides think they're right. They swear they're right. And they believe that people that are pushed, that don't want to accept this, are hatred incarnate. And that's just what they've been told. They've been told to believe that people that don't agree with you are evil. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Over the last 10 years, no, before, it was right when Obama was getting his first election. if you didn't support Obama, you were racist.
Truth.
I don't care if you were Republican, didn't like his politics.
Yeah,
you didn't like him because you were black.
Yeah,
and it was crazy to say that.
That's how it felt anyway. I mean, that's how it felt to me.
That is what it was. That is there was no implications of this. I heard it. I'm into politics. Like I said, I don't put it out here, but I'm into it. I've seen it.
Right.
I watched it. I watch CNN. I watch NBC. I watch Fox. I watch both sides because, like I said, I don't lean any way.
Right.
Now I watch Newsmax, but they weren't allowed. They weren't around back then. But at the time, it was 100%. If you didn't, because he was black, if you didn't vote for him, you were a racist. And then go 8 years later, if you voted for Trump, then you're a racist.
Yeah.
And I guarantee,
now I'm
in
wondering,
2024, it's going to be if you vote for DeSantis or Trump or whoever they end up getting run, you're a racist.
Well, I don't know about being a racist. I think now it's going to be the fact that you're going to be a homophobe or a homophobe, something like that, you know. But I'm just wondering how big a turn too when it comes back to that, and we're again getting way off past what we're talking about. But I'm wondering if because it took a super big turn with Biden and all that. It seems like with all this coming in the forefront of the media and stuff, and it's been there. I mean, obviously, but it's getting a little heated. And then if Trump gets reelected or something like that, and it takes a hard turn back the other way, I'm like, where does it all end up? You know, it's crazy to think about.
I'll tell you.
And more reason why I say keep it the fuck away from the kids, man, because you think it's bad now and you're trying to teach all this stuff. Well, kids their little minds are vulnerable and things like that. Absolutely. So if it gets twisted back the other way, then who's to say those kids that are also being taught to be accepting now don't make a hard turn back the other way and things. It's so touchy when you're dealing with juvenile minds and trying to twist them up and shit, you know. So
I think we're pretty clear on our message and how this went. Did you see the message when he, not the apology, but the talk he had afterwards? Did you see that at all?
I saw a little bit of it. Yeah, where
it's like 3 or 4 minutes that he goes and talks to everything. And honestly, I think we could be homies with this guy because he literally is talking about the same thing that we are. And he was a lot more delicate with how he put things than how we are right now.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah, he was, and he did way less than what we talked about right here. Way, I mean, literally all he said was keep the kids out of it, and he lost all that. So my consensus on it is I stand by NICKMERCS and fuck Call of Duty.
Oh, I never played that game, and I never will.
No, fuck it.
I don't give a fuck if they backpedal their ass off. I don't give a shit. I'll never play a Call
of Duty game. I'm going as far as not like buying it. I bought them for my kids and shit, you know, and I'm just like, that's one of them things where I'm like done. It's kind of like the whole Bud Light thing, all that stuff where they're just trying to cram stuff down people's throats, man. I'm just like, dude, I have nothing against. I love all people except the ones that treat me like shit. If you don't treat me like shit, you don't treat my family like shit, you're respectful when I see you out, I got nothing but love for you. You know, I laugh at the liberal media, the left, and the hardcore left want to talk shit about Chick-fil-A, and we should not go to Chick-fil-A. I have so many gay friends that are like, I love God's chicken. Right,
that shit's amazing. That shit's amazing.
I've honestly never been there, believe it or not, and they're all over where I live. But
all right, so I'm going to send you a gift card. You're going to have your first. No, I'm not fucking around. I have your address. I'm going to send you a fucking.
That's funny.
Bro, seriously?
I've never had one. No.
Okay, bro. Why though?
Because it's not like
don't even say.
And I love chicken. No, I love chicken fucking sandwiches. I don't know because it's just not very convenient to my house. I guess it's like up in Liberty, which is kind of a busy area, and there's other chicken places, Zaxby's, and places around here.
Fuck Zaxby's. Fuck KFC.
Oh
fuck
shit!
Popeyes.
Hey, Popeyes fucking chicken sandwich is bomb, dog. Come on, it was. It may have went downhill now. I haven't had one in a long time, but it used to be the bomb diggity. But anyway,
God's chicken.
God's chicken, yes. When it all comes down to it, it's God's chicken. That's the end of this story. No, all joking aside, guys, I hope we didn't offend, but if we did, we apologize. We're just speaking our minds and our truths, and people are meant to disagree. We'd love to hear from you in the comments.
Buddy, I'm sorry, but and you may not like this, but I'm going to tell you, like I said in the stream, if you find what we just said offensive, you might not be one to listen to us anymore. Like,
well, true,
and that's okay. Because this is who we are, this is who I am, and I'm not going to change to conform to anybody.
Well, and I'm not apologizing for what I've said. I'm just saying,
you apologize for for offending somebody, and I don't give a shit if I offend anybody for what I said.
I hear you. I'm still just a nice person. Like, I'm not going to change my beliefs because it offends you. It's more me just being like, sorry you're offended, but I'm just going to go about my day. It's not going to affect me any. But I'd be more than happy to debate about it in the comments and whatnot. So, guys, until next time, Dolph, I fucking love you, homie. As always, special edition, episode 0.5 something or others, Two Fried Eggs podcast. Love you. What up, man? So we're back to the next. What is it? Next day.
Yeah, it's the next day after we recorded the NICKMERCS episode,
the first part of it, and we are back because there is new news. Oh wait, no, we can't do that. That's a New Heights thing. That's a Travis Kelce thing they do on New Heights podcast. Yeah, you probably don't know about that because you're not a Chiefs fan, but.
So if you're listening today, you'll hear a difference in my microphone. We've done a little bit of adjusting today, and I want you to hear all the differences.
Oh God! We talked about moving the mic closer to your mouth to get you out of the bathroom, baby. We learning here, baby. We learning.
I'm learning. So all right. So
what's the update? The NICKMERCS thing. I was looking today, and we decided to come on here and add to this episode because when the whole NICKMERCS thing dropped that we just talked about, Tim the Tap Man released his little spiel on it or whatever on YouTube and talking about. How he didn't really see what happened with NICKMERCS, but he's kind of walking the fence. He didn't really say that, hey, this is my boy. I'm with him 100%. And he didn't say anything about Activision either. And so then today I was on Twitter, and apparently Tim the Tap Man has asked Activision to remove his character and skins and bundle and stuff from the game as well, because he is standing by NICKMERCS at this point.
Okay. How close are they?
Well, apparently they're really close because he was talking about that him and NICKMERCS work together, like coming up and stuff like that on Call of Duty, and they both work together at the same time trying to get their skins and their bundles in the game and blah, 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 blah. And I think they both kind of got them around the same time. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I'm assuming by the Tim the Tap Man post.
So they're as close as we are, probably, if not more. Fair?
Oh, fair. Yeah. For sure.
If someone came after you and your stream and all that shit, they'd be hell to pay. I'd fucking back you up and every single minute of every day.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if they're anywhere close to our friendship, then there's no way that guy would still do business with them and anything. Like I appreciate the love and the show that he's doing for his boy. Because that's at least the love and I would show for my boys. So
those guys have all been. With Dr. D and Summit and Tim the Tap Man and all these guys coming up and stuff. They've all played together because they're the top. Sure. They're up top there, man. They've all played together in tournaments and different things like that too. So there's always some sort of either competition or some sort of relationship there. I would assume to some level. From a lot of them guys, but Doc and Tim are the ones that have really come out and said, you know what, fuck you, Activision. There's nothing wrong with saying, leave the kids alone. How are you going to punish somebody for saying leave kids alone, bro? That's so fucked.
Can't think that I've played an Activision game since like Frogger.
Yeah. Well, and that's what gets me, and we may have already, I don't want to get into a whole big thing because I mainly just wanted to cover this new deal, but like there's if you play Call of Duty and stuff, that game is so freaking toxic, and most of it's little 14-year-olds going around telling them to go fuck your mom or something,
Yeah, no, I agree there.
Yeah, it's so freaking toxic, bro. Like you run one of the most toxic chat games there is, and
legendary
toxicity. Dude, how much shit talk has come from Call of Duty,
Damn, man.
I thought that was cool, man, because the release he made prior to that was not so well received. People thought he was kind of skating the line or, not really picking one side or the other and kind of just stay neutral. And then I saw the news today, and then he come out and said, he'd like to have his bundle removed. And then the even more stupid thing is that Activision actually did it.
So it's funny that you say skating when I'm about to ask you this question. Are you staying with NICKMERCS, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to stop playing Activision games?
Sure. What is it?
Tony Hawk.
I don't give a fuck about
You don't like Tony Hawk? Dude, Tony Hawk was one of my favorites.
I did when I was fucking 17 or something, whatever year that came out, bro.
There's nothing worth a shit.
No, I don't give a shit about Activision, dude.
They've done Call of Duty fucking love. Skylanders, which is bullshit.
Yeah, it was stupid. My kids liked it, though.
Crash Bandicoot, or whatever it was.
Quality for a kid game.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, Bandicoot. You never played Bandicoot? Mm-hmm. You didn't play no Bandicoots? What the fuck is wrong with you? I played with Bandicooters all the time.
Jeb, can I talk to Bosch, please? Fuck.
My bad. Those split personalities kick in every once in a while. Hey, what you trying to say, motherfucker? Don't be laughing at my split personalities. Goddamn.
Split? That's the triple.
No, yeah. Wait, how do you split triples?
I don't know, but you have Bosch, then
split personalities. I think if you split personalities, you can be multiple personalities still, because it's still plural. It's the word of personalities.
Speaking of split, have you seen that movie?
No.
Bro, you got to watch that.
Wait, maybe. What's the fucking movie? I don't know.
It's with the guy's like 13 or 14 different personalities, and they have like weird super. I think it's an M. Night Shyamalan or Shyamalan Ding Dong. Yeah, whatever it is.
Ding Dong.
I think it's one of his movies, but it's pretty fucking wicked. It's got God, what's his name?
Oh God, here we go with the typing. Professional podcast, guys. Professional podcast.
Listen,
no, actually, that's what they all do it, bro. That's all they all do it. I'm just talking shit. This is literally what. I guess
I lost which movie we were talking about.
Oh, Shlama-Lama-Longs. That's what you said. Oh, Split.
Split.
Damn, come on, bro. I'm a G. Let's go.
Yeah, 2016 film. It's got James McAvoy in it.
You expect me to remember some shit from 2016?
Do you know who James McAvoy is?
No. Picture.
Well, I'll share.
I swear to God, if he's naked, I'm going to be pissed.
No, shut up.
If a big old donger pops up on the screen, I'm going to be upset, bro. I'm going to be upset.
There's no donger, asshole.
I don't see shit.
You don't see.
No, I still don't know him. Hey, Bruce Willis, that's my dog.
You really don't. Yeah, he was in. You don't. Okay.
I mean, I see him. He looks familiar a little bit.
He was Xavier.
God damn! Look at that dude's nose. Go back up.
Who are you talking about?
That motherfucker, Peter Patricos or whatever. What the fuck?
God, are we off on a tangent now or what?
I don't know. I just saw his face.
Oh, you got a penis for a nose.
That ain't bad. Let's not make fun. Oh my God! Look at the picture below. Holy jawline, bro! God damn!
Oh God. Okay, we're stopping this madness now.
Sorry. My bad. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Tim the Tap Man. Sup, dog?
So anyways, the dude that I just talked to, he played 13 different characters, and they're all like explicitly different, like in how they act and mannerisms, male, female. It was a wild movie. You need to watch it. It was really good.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it, man. That's all the news I got. I need to watch the movie Split, and that dude had a fucking wicked nose and chin line.
Right.
And Tim the Tap Man's Activision bundle has been removed. Activision is losing their fucking minds, apparently. I don't know what the fuck that's all about. That's a gaming company trying to police the world is something
craziness.
Else. Something else, bro.
Yeah.
Something else. Anyway, brother, as always, just want to jump into a quick little update for the episode, and love you. Two Fried Eggs Podcast, baby.
Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe below if you like our content. New episodes dropping every Friday. Stay tuned.